And with 2 races left to go in the Pro Class, that's certainly a good one. But here we go with the 65cc's. Gates down on this one this week at Loretta's, and we roll toward the Bell Moto hole shot. It's the number 4 of Landon Gibson grabbing the early lead in this one. He's got Trenton Batchelor and Vincent Way right behind him now. The 28 and 27 machine. Ryder Ellis also back there. Hogan Mims, Seth Dennis, Cole Blecka, Kevin DePino, Jonathan Getz. You name it, the field is back there, and they're all trying to get it all sorted out. But it is the number 4 of Gibson still holding on to the lead. And there's Ryder Ellis also making a challenge. And the, wow, pass in the third place position now it looks like. Ellis is really moving up through the pack fast.
Rare era to be a 50cc champ and to be fast enough to battle up front with the bigger kids in a 65 class. It's happened down here a few times. I think the ultimate trivia, I believe Davey Millsaps did that way back in the day to try to do both. Ryder Ellis, I don't know if he's title contention, but he is up front in this moto trying to make a name for himself on the bigger bikes. A lot of different riders to watch. Landon Gibson on the number 4 was the title leader coming into this in a big battle right now. They come together, and Landon Gibson goes down, so your championship leader down early. Way gets by him as well, and that was Seth Dennis, I think. Yep, Seth Dennis on the 93 has shot into the lead. That was just racing. They were both going for the same line. Hey, we're talking young kids here. I don't want to share those toys. Let's take you through it again. Watch this. No, we just flash forward, so it is still the number 93 out front of Dennis. So let's see how quickly Landon Gibson can get up. It wasn't a big crash, and he wasn't down for long. Just got to hope that the levers aren't damaged or isn't some sort of problem with the machine as he picks himself back up. Championship coming into this one. Dennis had to beat Gibson by 2 spots. So some people might be a little mad. Oh, we got another rider back there who get down. Some people might be a little bummed about the contact, but to me that was just hard racing.
Oh, that right there, that was racing. There was nothing nothing about that anyone has to be concerned about. That's just 2 kids going out there going after the same thing, that first place position.
I hear you, but people aren't always rational when there's titles on the line. I'm just saying.
No, come on. I don't understand why that would be.
Weege, exactly. where are you coming from with that, Weege?
Just the word around the campfire. Okay. So Dennis would now have Cole Blesha would be 3rd, but Landon Gibson got up in 5th. But that's the bad news. The good news is 5th, it's close, it's early in the moto. He can make up ground. He's got to make some passes, though. He's got to get on Seth Dennis's wheel to hold the title.
Vincent Way impressing us here in this 3rd and final moto. We saw some good starts out of him in the action, and there's the 27 machine making his way through that 10 Commandments section. And again, the 27 coming into this moto, maybe not with the highest hopes of a championship contention, but again, one of those riders that can make an explanation point. He had a 9th place finish in moto number 1, ran in top 5 for a good part of the early part of that moto before dropping back to that 9th after some issues, but real big issues in moto 2 with a 32nd. So he comes into this one with an 18th overall. Everything he moto, Jason's going to better his overall score.
I just saw a rider down in front of Way in a KTM. Could that have been your leader, Dennis, who was just picking the bike up?
I was wondering the same thing.
You saw that, right?
Yes, yeah. I did. Yep, yes, sir.
So let's see if Vincent Way is now your leader. We can spy it out.
I believe he is.
Yep. So Seth Dennis, just as quickly as he got the lead, has given it back and nearly in the same section. So that was. So now the question is, where's Dennis? And where's Gibson in relation to him?
Wow, how great would that be to come here and go 9:32.1? Talk about some stories to tell out there. That would certainly be some great things and some great memories. I mean, because you've ran every part of the gamut there. You had some high hopes at one point. It seemed like your dream was decimated, and then all of a sudden you come out on top.
So let's reset it with Way out front. Caden Dudney is 2nd, and there's the number 4 of Gibson. So he is actually, I would believe, back up front as far as the title is concerned. Let's just do some math now as they come through. Dudney would have it. So Gibson and Dudney are battling it out. Are they tied? Yes. Dudney and Gibson are tied on points and battling for 2nd on the racetrack.
So whoever wins that battle between those two would be putting themselves in the position for the championship.
Woo! Oh, yeah, it is on right now.
Love
Gibson's got to get Dudney. They are tied in the points, and they're battling it out. You see them on screen right now for second and third. Vincent Way, as you said, Rodney, he's had some rough motos. Not a title factor. He would be stoked to get the gold, though. And we've got to find Seth Dennis all the way back in 11th. Oh, here's the charge. Outside versus inside. Landon Gibson running the high line going into the 10 Commandments. What line will be better? Dudney's on the inside. And Landon Gibson, here it is. The title's on the line with this pass. Landon Gibson makes it happen.
Well, we may have just seen, just like you said, the title pass taking place here on lap number 3 as we headed into Storyland out of that 10 Commandments. But again, the race is far from over as we're only 5 minutes and, well, 50 seconds into this race. So about 15 minutes still left to go. And a lot of things can happen. So don't count out the number 93 of Seth Dennis just yet either. He's back in the 11th place position. And we'll see how far he can work up through the pack here as our leaders make their way around the Rocky Mountain ATV MC sweeper turn now. And Vincent Way is the man up front, but the man on the move, Landon Gibson aboard the number 4.
Yeah, Gibson put that pass together really well. Dudney, props to him. He was committed to that inside, trying to make it work. And sure enough, Gibson using that momentum. And on this little bike, I got to say, getting that run, getting that good drive into the Commandments like that really paid off for the number 4 machine, because here we see him right now really coming after him.
But also feet off the pegs on the landing of what we're calling the cake jump. And another little mistake, it's just the pace. He's pushing it so far.
Look at this.
Right on Vincent Way right now. So let's see if Little Way can hold off Gibson, who was just not going to be denied. Early crash, picked it up. Already going for the W.
Leaders going down in front of the billboard now as they have a half second separating them. Caden Dudney about 3.6 seconds back. Cole Black as 4th. Brennan Harrison, the 56 in 5th. Jonathan Getz now checks in with 3 laps in 6th place position. As we look to the number 7 spot, Eli Gross on the 71 KTM. And right behind him, the 93 in 8th place is Seth Dennis. Kevin DePino in 9th. And Madden Jones, the number 50, rounds out the top 10. A little further back, 11, Jesse James Shedden. Trent Batchelor is 12th. Gray Townsend in 13th. 7, Henderson, the number 34 and 14th. The 17 of Tristan Pruitt rounds out the top 15.
Way back out in front. Man, it looked like Gibson, with the way he caught him, thought he was going to make it happen, but not quite. This next little exchange has worked in favor of Way. You see the gap, about maybe 10 bike lengths. So Way has fought him off, at least for the moment. Dudney in 3rd, Blesha 4th, Brennan Harrison 5th. Getz, Gross, Dennis, DePino, and Madden Jones top 10. So Seth Dennis up to 8th. He's trying everything he can to salvage this, but he's going to have to hope for some trouble for both Dudney and Gibson. And now we got a battle for the lead again. Landon Gibson. And then he makes a mistake and Way gets back away. These ruts, it's unbelievable the amount of time they can gain or lose on one lap on the 65s.
See a lot of those front wheels popping out of those ruts as those guys are gaining a lot of traction and just not able to keep that front wheel down. And got to keep that weight pointed down through that turn if you're going to keep that wheel in that rut and keep that line going.
So Vincent Way lives through another lap, holding that lead. Going to have to deal with more heat from Landon Gibson. Oh, man. Unbelievable what a rough ride it is to try to run that inside line this small with these little wheels, little less suspension. Gibson on the inside, Way on the outside, side by side. Who wants to lead worse right now? Way squeezes him off. I thought he was done on that outside line.
There's been about there's been about 3 different occasions that I thought that Landon Gibson had the pass made on Vincent Way, and he has somehow or another found the wicked it up just like he was clear down here with that throttle.
Oh yeah, that thing was as wide open can be. But despite those efforts, Vincent Way still holding on.
Way running that extreme outside as they come through some of those turns. And you notice some of these faster riders are, the main race line, a lot of the riders are hitting it, but when they get a chance, we're starting to see them hit those outside lines and the outside edges of the track where the track seems to be a lot smoother and oftentimes able to keep a pretty good pace whenever doing so.
Yeah, when we get to the later stages of the day throughout the program, a lot of classes here, and we try not to do a lot of maintenance and track. Oh, look at this. Beautiful rhythm through there. Try not to do a lot of track maintenance and stuff, so these guys really get the real feel of how rough, say, a national track would be.
Yellow flags out in Suzuki or in Storyland, and of course under the Suzuki banner goes our leaders here in this 65 7-9 limited class as we're watching some of the riders back a little further. Brendan Harrison, I believe we've seen going out there. Jonathan Getz. Again, we're looking for that 93 machine of Seth Dennis. He's worked his way up to 7th. Oh, down goes Way. Way just completely just went, I don't know what happened there, got out of shape and just kind of planted it there in the outside of that turn. So he's going to lose several positions after getting through some lap traffic. And we'll see just exactly how far back he does fall. But it looks like Gibson should have got by, Dudney getting by, and possibly Cole Blesha as well.
Wow, just ripped the bars right out of his hands there. Just think he hit wrong already into a lean when he made contact with that rut. Man, oh man, spit him right off.
So now Gibson out front in this one aboard the number 5, and again that puts him in total control of the 65cc 7-9 limited national championship, and back to the number 2 spot as the gap has amassed to 11 seconds back to Caden Dudney, the number 40. Cole Blesha now up to the number 3 spot. Checking in with 4th place was Vincent Way, able to get up. No, Brennan Harrison is by. Jonathan Getz is by as well on the number 22 Yamaha. And we see Seth Dennis also gets by aboard the number 93 machine. And this is going to start looking rather interesting as he starts inching his way back to the possibility of a national championship title as well. So still some time to go in this one for that. But Eli Gross is 7th, Kevin DePino in the number 8 spot, Jesse James Shedden is 9th, Madden Jones in 10th, and still haven't seen Vincent Way come by. Grayson Townsend in 11th. So Way completely out of this one. Had some pretty good bragging rights going, and still does have some great memories that he can take home with him over this one.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me, man? Amazing ride. And like I said, one little mistake, and we've seen it all day today, Rodney. Seen some little mistakes that turned into big losses, and unfortunately Way giving up about 3 positions there.
He's all the way back into 19th place at least now. Has not checked in for
oh my goodness,
lap 5 complete. I thought he got back up.
I did too, yeah.
So he must have had some other issues out there we're not aware of. Gage Dunnan is by, so that puts Way as far back as at least 20th place position now, and again, no factor. Landon Gibson, Caden Dudney, Blesha, Brendan Harrison, Jonathan Getz, and as we said, Seth Dennis now up to a 6th place position as we start doing the math here. 1-4-1 for Landon Gibson. And we have a 3-3-2 for Caden Dudney. That scores an 8. We got a tie between Cole Blesha and Seth Dennis right now. Blesha with a 4-2-3, and looks like Dennis with a 2-1-6, both with 9 points. Wow. So he's got to shave 4 points off. So let's see, that's 4 positions. So he's going to have to get all the way up to a 2nd place position, and we're hoping that Landon Gibson loses that lead and drops back a spot or 2.
Yeah, that's what he's going to need to hope for right now. And of course, these kids go 20 minutes. This one right now, 6 minutes left in this one. These guys are conditioned and prepared to go 20 minutes at 7 to 9 years old.
You good, Larry?
Back around that billboard. One rider getting jammed up. I believe that was a lapped rider right there. Gibson trying to maintain this thing. Gibson tried to maintain this thing for about the next, I'm going to say 3 laps. Should be seeing the 2-lap card here in just a few moments. Probably after checking in next time around. Fast lap on lap number 3 at 2:15, and right now all your leaders right in that 2:21 area. Kate Dundee turning a 2:19 last time around.
So next time around, leaders will get the 2-lap board as we expect that to be in about a minute and a half. Landon Gibson, Caden Dundee, and Blesha looking at gold, silver, and bronze from Moto 3. And right now, Blesha, Dudney, and Gibson are looking at top 3 overall as far as the championship race is concerned and the overall standing. So, like we said, Seth Dennis has to make a few passes to move into position, as does Colt Bleca, who is sharing that 3rd place position and a 9-point score.
Had somebody down there at the beginning of the commandments. Saw a track worker out there with him with the caution flag out. Not exactly sure who that was. Doesn't appear to be one of our leaders.
The Yamaha Moto Tees Talent Show coming up tonight at 8:30. We got on-track graduation coming up at 7:30. And again, don't forget the Loretta Lane Kennel Club with the dog show coming up tonight at the Polysport Pond at about 7 o'clock. There's Brendan Harrison we're checking in with now aboard the number 56 KTM, and I believe right behind him is Seth Dennis, who has made up some time. There's Jonathan Getz, the number 22 Yamaha ride, just ahead of Harrison. Harrison and Getz had a pretty tight race and still do here as Dennis is moving into position as well.
You okay?
Ooh, Caden Dudney moving into the lead. What happened to Gibson? And Megawatt saying somebody's down over there. I can't see who was down. It might have been Landon Gibson because it's Dudney up front. Blesha in second. Getz is third. Brendan Harrison in fourth. Seth Dennis in fifth. Landon Gibson still not checked in at the 6th place position as we wait to see whether or not Eli Gross was able to get by. This is not good news for the number 4 camp.
He just continues to drop. That's unfortunate, Rodney. I didn't want to say it immediately. I just said there's a rider down. But I was watching the camera shots, and I believed it to be Gibson, and I'm going to have to say that is the case, friend.
Well, the way it looks now, Caden Dudney with a 3.31 is in the driver's seat for the national championship, and still Cole Bleca and Seth Dennis only 1 point out of that. So if Bleca gets around, then that will move him into the national championship. Here's another thing. If Seth Dennis makes 2 passes, if he can get into the 3rd place position and Dudney and Bleca stay where they are, then Seth Dennis would be your champion. 2 minutes and 32 seconds, basically 1 lap to go in this moto after this lap. So we're on the 2-lap board. The white flag will be coming out this time around. Seth Dennis has got his work cut out for him. A half second behind Harrison when they headed into lap number 8. They were only a couple of seconds then behind Jonathan Getz for 3rd. So it's not completely out of the question to see Harrison pull this one out of his hat.
Yeah, man, that's absolutely incredible. White flag lap remaining. Want to do a complete rundown right now. Caden Dudney with the lead, of course. Cole Bleca in that number 2 spot. Jonathan Getz Jr. in the number 3 ride. Brendan Harrison in the 4th position. Seth Dennis now rides in the 5th spot. Eli Gross, Jesse James Shedden in the number 7 spot. Madden Jones in 8th. Kevin DePino in 9th. Grayson Townsend in 10th. 11th is Ryder Alice. Darren Pine in the 12th spot. Grant McDonald rides in 13th. Look at this, my old buddy Seven Henderson cracking the top 15 in the 14th position. And Tristan Pruitt, man, rounding out the top 15.
Yeah, Seven Henderson been running back there in the 12th, 13th, 14th place position pretty much all moto as the white flag comes out this time around for Caden Dudney, the number 40 KTM pilot. Cole Bleca will be about 8 seconds back, and this is where it's starting to start getting exciting. The 22, the 56, and the 93. We'll see how things are unfolding for that 3rd place position. Again, Seth Dennis, the 93, has got to get by 2 riders in order to capture the championship. Otherwise, it belongs to Caden Dudney. Unless Cole Bleca gets around Dudney to steal that position away from him, and then Bleca would then be your champion.
Wow.
So
woulda, coulda, shoulda. How's it going to? Rodney.
Exactly. It's still up for grabs. Seth Dennis still 5th place as we look at the standings. 215. He's got 8 points. Caden Dudney 331 with 7 points. It's going to take 2 passes. He's going to have to get around Brendan Harrison and Jonathan Getz. He's going to have to take the overall 3rd place position.
Yeah, that's what's going to have to happen. I'm trying to do it in my head. I don't have it that quickly, but I believe that's That's how it works, Rodney.
Well, he's going to the Moto third place position
Yes.
in order to get the overall first place position.
Right, exactly.
Right. If he stays where he's at, he's got third place overall.
Overall, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
And he's fifth place on the racetrack. So interesting how that all works down here in these third motos. But yes, it is.
Speak slowly and clearly for me, Rodney.
I'm having a tough time. I'm getting excited here on this day. I'm as you know, seen a lot of great races. This has probably been one of the best years. And I know we say this every year, but top to bottom, some great competition inside and out. And I know we staked those claims in the last couple of years. This is going to be the best year, and they were. But this year, again, I mean, we didn't even hype that up as that, and that's what we've been turned out with here. I mean, the best of the best come here to Loretta Lynn's, and that's the kind of motos we get, the best of 2019.
Yep, for sure. The very best of the best. Not sure when we're going to see that 2-lap card, Rodney.
Actually, I think checkers are coming out this time around.
I was wondering if the white flag, we lost it on here. I thought the white flag possibly was out.
So checkers should be waving, and let's
there it is,
do.
yeah.
Caden Dutney takes the Moto win and Moto gold here for Moto number 3. And Cole Blesha, the 52, we're looking for him to be your second place position finisher here. And he'll roll across the finish line there. There he is. So Bleka, 15 seconds back, but doesn't matter how far back he is, he's still second, and second overall as far as the national championship is concerned as well. There's Jonathan Getz checking in with a Moto bronze aboard the number 22, Brendan Harrison in 4th, Seth Dennis in 5th. And that's the way it is, my friends. Caden Dudney, he will take the overall with that win in Moto number 3. So the national championship and this final Moto win goes to the number 40 of Caden Dudney. Cole Bleka will be your silver award winner, and again, Jonathan Getz will take the bronze in this this Moto. The 22 machine taking home the bronze, Moto 3. So congratulations, Jonathan, and we're going to head on down to Jason Wigan, who I think sounds like he may be about ready to get some things going. And he may have just turned on in his pocket. I'm not sure. I've heard something for a few moments.
I found our second and third place finishers in the Moto. We'll bring them up to hand out the bronze and the silver. By the way, for Landon Gibson, it was a broken chain. I saw them pushing the bike off. Just heartbreaking. Had the title well within his grasp. He rode incredibly well. Let's bring up Jonathan Getz first, our third place finisher. We're going to take third. Here's Getz, the Blue Crew rider. Let's hear it for the bronze medalist, Jonathan Getz Jr. Good ride, man. Tell me about your moto.
It was rough. A couple people crashed, so I passed them.
You want to thank some people?
Yeah, my mom and dad, Tutu Graphics, Yamaha 100%, Bell, Alpine Stars, FMF, a Sift, Triangle, Dunlop, Yamaha. I think that's all.
Let's hear it for Jonathan Getz Jr. taking third. Here, look up there. You can hold that. Hold that. That looks good. Awesome job. Second place, let's bring up Cole Blesha taking the silver. We're going to get it right one of these years. It's probably like 4 in a row we messed that one up. So here we are. Cole Bleka gets the silver. That's a crazy moto. Wild stuff was happening. How did it go for you? Tell me about it.
Oh yeah, I just got off to a good start, and like last year I just had to stay up in the third moto because I knew it's always going to be crazy. And then, yeah, I just got a second.
All right, Cole, who do you want to thank?
I'd like to thank Answer, Asterisk 60, Dunlop Race Tech, Lynx, Motion Pro, Answer, 100%, and everybody else that supports me. Thank you.
There it is, folks. Cole Bleka, second place. And we're going to clear this Race Tech podium now to bring up our champ. We got Landon here. We got a whole shot winner? Whole shot winner, yeah. Shot real quick. Oh. I get Even Sky credit just for coming back up here to collect the whole shot award. He had a broken chain that cost him the title, but it's here in motocross. You got to be able to come up and thank your people, even when it doesn't go right. We see it happen in Supercross. So thanks for Landon Gibson for coming on up. Whole shot award for Landon Gibson. Landon, come out front here so we can see you. Hey, I just give you credit for coming up here. I know you got to be bummed, dude.
Yeah, I'm very bummed.
Who do you want to thank?
I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, Answer, Modex Compound, Matt Walker, Timmy Bedore, 100%, Nihilio, Roost, and Cherubies and everybody else who I forgot to thank you.
All right, he'll be back. Let's hear it for Landon Gibson.
One more to thank. I'd like to thank Pro Circuit too.
Oh yeah, Pro Circuit. That gets whole shots. Good job, Landon. And in a series of dramatic events, awesome racing for the Moto win. Landon, this is yours. Moto kept switching in so many ways, but in the end, it went to this man, Caden Dudney. Give you that as well. I can't even keep track of all things that happened. Said Dennis went down a few times. Gibson went down, came back. You stayed steady. Did you even know what was going on?
No.
When did you find out that you had won it?
I didn't know.
Really? Until you came across?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's this feel like?
Awesome.
Yeah. Who do you want to thank?
My mom, my dad, Altus Motorsports, Scott, Nost, Fly Racing, Lynx Racing, and yeah.
Good. Here it is, the gold medal, winning the Moto, the trophy, the champagne. Here's Alex Hunter from the AMA to hand over the #1 plate to Caden Dudney. We gotta go. It's time for Pro Sport action. Boys, take it away.